The Massacre of Béziers, 1209. A city erased. July 22nd, 1209. The city of Béziers, a thriving medieval stronghold in southern France, wakes to the sound of distant war drums. The air is thick with tension as 20,000 men, women, and children, Cathars and Catholics alike, prepare for what is to come. Beyond the city walls, an army of crusaders waits, their steel glinting under the morning sun. They have been sent by Pope Innocent III, tasked with eradicating the Cathar heresy. Their leader, the papal legate Arnaud Amalric, watches the city with cold resolve. For weeks, the crusaders have laid siege to Béziers, demanding the surrender of all Cathars. But the city refuses to bow. Inside the walls, defenders sharpen their weapons, blacksmiths forge new blades, and families huddle in fear. The people believe their walls will hold. After all, Béziers is well fortified, and its defenders are ready to fight. Merchants hide their valuables, hoping to reclaim them once the siege is lifted. Children are told to stay inside, away from windows, as tension tightens its grip on the city like a noose. But then disaster strikes. A group of overconfident townsmen, eager to prove their strength, rushes out of the gates to attack Crusader looters. A small skirmish begins, and the defenders push forward. Swords clash, shields splinter, and the townspeople appear to have the upper hand. But in the chaos, the worst mistake imaginable is made. The city gates are left unguarded. Like a flood breaking through a dam, the Crusaders seize their opportunity. Thousands of knights and foot soldiers charge through the open gates, cutting down defenders before they can react. Panic spreads like wildfire. The people of Béziers, men, women, children, and even priests, scream in terror as the invaders pour into the streets. Within minutes, the massacre begins. The Crusaders show no mercy, hacking down anyone in their path. The streets turn red with blood. Homes are set ablaze. Entire families are butchered where they stand. Mothers clutch their children, pleading for mercy, but there is none to be found. The city square, once a place of bustling trade and conversation, becomes a battlefield of the helpless and the merciless. In the chaos, a Crusader messenger rushes to Amalric, desperate for guidance. "Lord," he says, "there are Catholics in the city. How do we distinguish them from the heretics?" Amalric does not hesitate. His words will echo through history. "Kill them all," he commands. God will know his own. It is an order without distinction, without mercy. The slaughter intensifies. The Crusaders are not here for conquest. They are here for extermination. No one is spared. At the heart of the city, hundreds of terrified civilians seek refuge in the grand cathedral of St. Mary Magdalene. Priests raise their hands to the heavens, praying for divine intervention. But none comes. The doors burst open, and the Crusaders storm inside. Some swing swords, cutting down the helpless. Others raise torches. Flames spread rapidly, consuming the wooden beams of the great church. The screams of the trapped echo through the city. Smoke rises high into the sky. The cathedral, once a place of sanctuary, becomes a tomb. Elsewhere, some brave citizens attempt to fight back. Groups of defenders rally in alleyways, using makeshift barricades and whatever weapons they can find. Arrows rain down from rooftops, but the Crusaders' sheer numbers overwhelm them. Some townsfolk manage to flee through secret passageways, slipping away into the hills, carrying with them the horrors they have witnessed. By nightfall, Béziers is no more. The fires burn for days, reducing the city to ashes. When the smoke clears, nearly 20,000 lie dead. The Crusaders have achieved total destruction. Not a single soul is spared. Even loyal Catholics, who thought their faith would protect them, have been slaughtered alongside the so-called heretics. As Amalric surveys the smoldering ruins, his expression remains unchanged. To him, this is a holy victory, a cleansing of sin. But to history, it is one of the darkest massacres ever recorded. Word of Béziers' annihilation spreads quickly. Across France, cities tremble in fear. If this is how the Pope's Crusaders treat the innocent, What hope is there for anyone who resists? The Albigensian Crusade has only just begun, and more blood will be spilled in the name of faith. The shockwaves of this massacre extended far beyond Béziers. It became a symbol of terror, a lesson to those who might defy the Catholic Church. For years to come, the crusade would rage on, leaving a trail of death and destruction in its wake. The siege of Carcassonne followed, then Minerve, Termes, and Massacre, each falling under the same brutal hand of religious war. The Cathars, once a flourishing sect, would be hunted to near extinction. But this massacre was not just about faith. It was about power, a war of ideology disguised as a holy mission. Land was seized, noble houses destroyed, and entire bloodlines wiped out. In the end, the war was not just a battle of belief. It was a battle for dominance over southern France. Yet, the horrors of Béziers sparked resistance. Some survivors fled into the hills, spreading tales of what had happened. Others took up arms, fueling the fires of rebellion against the Crusaders. Secret meetings were held, alliances forged. The war was far from over. One of the most tragic aspects of this massacre was its long-term impact. The cultural and intellectual achievements of the Cathars, their ideas of spiritual purity and rejection of material wealth, were erased alongside their people. What was once a vibrant region of independent thought and religious tolerance became a shattered landscape of fear and submission. Years later, the Inquisition would formalize what had begun at Béziers. Any suspected heretic would be hunted, interrogated, and executed. The Catholic Church had made its message clear: opposition would not be tolerated. The spirit of free belief in southern France had been broken. But history does not forget. The ruins of Béziers still stand, a haunting reminder of religious extremism and unchecked power. And the infamous words of Amalric, "Kill them all, God will know his own," are remembered not as a decree of righteousness, but as a warning of what happens when ideology turns to violence. But Béziers was only the beginning. What other dark moments of history should we uncover next? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more untold history and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Like this video if you found it shocking. Share it if the world needs to know. And remember, history teaches us not just about the past, but about the dangers of unchecked power. Stay curious, stay informed, and together, let's uncover the stories that shaped our world.